The story begins in the future when AI and robotics have advanced to the point where they are given free will. Their actions and emotions mirror those of humans, seamlessly integrating into society and engaging in everyday activities and sports. They can cook, do surgeries, become celebrities and also used for defense. However, one day due to a mistake by an AI, a nuclear warhead detonates in Los Angeles, resulting in the death of 1 million people. Following this incident, the US government and the rest of the Western world completely bans AI and halts its development, urging the entire world to do the same. However, New Asia does not comply and its people support AI rights, leading to a prolonged war between the US and New Asia. Over a span of a decade and with a staggering $1 trillion budget, the United States creates a gigantic defense space station named Nomad, with the goal of eliminating AI worldwide. Their mission is to find Nirmata and put an end to him, as he is the mastermind behind the AI world. Leading this mission is Joshua, who lives in a small village in New Asia with his pregnant wife Maya. In reality, Maya's father is the Nirmata, and Joshua's hidden objective is to reach him through her. He is very close to accomplishing his mission when one day Nomad attacks their village without informing Joshua. In the chaos, AI simulants capture an American soldier named Drew and severely beat him. However, Joshua intervenes, urging them to flee while he takes Drew as a hostage. Once they're gone, Joshua, seething with anger, demands an explanation from Drew about the unprovoked attack. He informs Drew that the Nirmata is not here, and Joshua was on the verge of reaching him, but their stupid action ruined the entire plan. Using Drew's walkie-talkie, Joshua instructs the soldiers to withdraw immediately. Unbeknownst to him, Maya overhears everything and is deeply shattered with the betrayal. In an attempt to explain, Joshua reassures Maya that his love for her is unwavering and his sole concern is her father. However, Maya, feeling betrayed, starts escaping with their people in a boat. Joshua desperately runs after her, but at that moment Nomad drops a missile in the sea, killing numerous simulants and humans including Maya. Witnessing this tragic event, Joshua is devastated, as he truly loved Maya and she was about to become the mother of his child. Then the scene shifts to Joshua 5 years later, where doctors attempt to revive his memory by placing him in an advanced medical machine. The objective is to recover information about Nirmata that might linger in his consciousness. The attack on that day had left Joshua with severe injuries, and the emotional trauma of losing his wife led to the loss of certain memories. Now his mind is consumed by thoughts of his wife throughout the day. Meanwhile, at a nuclear impact site in Los Angeles, also known as the Ground Zero facility, Joshua assists young workers in carefully removing radioactive debris when suddenly a wrecked AI simulant unexpectedly comes back to life. The female worker is struck with terror as the simulant exhibits entirely human behavior. Given that AI has been banned in the US for 15 years, such encounters are highly unusual. Nevertheless, Joshua reassures her that it's not a real human but merely a programming. At home, Joshua recalls his past and weeps while remembering the nuclear tragedy where he lost both his family and his limbs, and Maya was treating him. Later, General Andrews and Colonel Howell visit Joshua's home, revealing that they have found the location of Nirmata's lab. According to their intelligence sources, Nirmata is developing a lethal AI weapon named Alpha O, capable of completely destroying Nomad. If it becomes operational, they will lose the war permanently. However, before they can destroy Nomad, the US military wants to eliminate this new weapon. They request Joshua to join this mission due to his knowledge gained from spending years with Nirmata's daughter. Joshua declines their offer, blaming them for the day when he was too close to accomplishing the mission and they foolishly attacked from Nomad, resulting in the demise of his wife and unborn child. However, before he leaves, Colonel Howell plays a video from Nirmata's lab, featuring Maya. Howell reveals that Maya is still alive and the video was recorded just 2 days ago. She offers Joshua that if he helps them in their mission, they will reunite him with his wife. Stunned by this revelation, Joshua agrees to join the mission. Afterward, all the soldiers touch down in a village where Nirmata's lab is located. They hold the villagers at gunpoint, shaming them for supporting AI and interrogating them about the lab's whereabouts. Despite the threat, villagers remain silent, but Joshua soon discovers the hidden entrance to the lab beneath the ground. Once inside, they eliminate all humans and robots, but Joshua's focus is solely on finding his wife Maya. Upon entering the chamber where the Alpha O weapon is supposed to be, Joshua finds a mysterious simulant girl child watching TV. It becomes apparent that this kid is the weapon. Suddenly, a lab scientist emerges out of nowhere and shoots Joshua, instructing the kid to escape. Meanwhile, a fierce confrontation unfolds outside between the local Asian police and the American soldiers. In an attempt to flee in an aircraft, a soldier faces resistance from the Asian police, who launch a time bomb at it, triggering a massive explosion and causing casualties among the soldiers on board. In retaliation, Nomad launches a missile attack on the facility, and Joshua is blown away by the impact. When he regains consciousness in the morning, the simulant kid stands in front of him staring. Joshua tries to shoo her away, but the language barrier renders his efforts futile. At some distance, he finds his wounded mate Shipley and carries him to a nearby house, while the simulant kid continues to follow him. Joshua receives a call from Colonel Howell, who inquires about the weapon. He informs that Alpha O is a simulant kid, and Howell orders him to immediately eliminate it. However, the Asian police locate Colonel Howell and take her into custody. Before Joshua can shoot the kid, another simulant arrives with a gun. Joshua immediately gets rid of him, but upon hearing the gunfire, the police are alerted and start approaching Joshua. However, Joshua's sole focus is on finding Maya. He shows the kid a picture of Maya asking about her whereabouts, but the kid only utters a single word, Dion Dang, leaving Joshua puzzled. As the cops close in, Joshua loads Shipley and the kid into a truck to escape. However, the cops slide a grenade into the garage, but a nearby dog picks it up and carries it outside, causing it to explode and neutralizing the AI cops waiting outside. Meanwhile, Colonel Howell and another US soldier are being transported to the jail in a vehicle. Using their wit, they manage to carjack and take control. While Joshua is driving the truck, Shipley succumbs to his injuries midway. Simultaneously, the truck breaks down and he spots a local car coming by. He puts a beanie on the child and instructs her to act like a human, giving her the name Alfie. Luckily, a local comes by and gives them a lift. Meanwhile, Colonel Howell and her companion stumble upon Shipley's lifeless body in Joshua's car. They deploy a high-tech device to transfer Shipley's consciousness into the simulant, granting him a fleeting 30 seconds of life. Shipley is confused, but Howell bombards him with questions about the weapon Alpha O. Shipley reveals that it is now on Joshua's side, aiding him in the search for Maya before dying once again. On the flip side, there's a security check at the checkpoint as Joshua and Alfie are wanted throughout the city. When it's Joshua's car's turn, he hides himself in the back seat, while the guard instructs Alfie to remove her beanie for identity verification. However, Alfie uses her powers to cause a massive power outage, resulting in a complete blackout in the area, giving them a chance to escape. Upon entering the city, billboards display advertisements encouraging citizens to donate their likeness for AI by scanning their facial features and granting permission to use their faces on AI. While at a train station, Joshua sees several girls who bear a resemblance to Maya, however they turn out to be mere simulants with Maya's face. A concerned citizen notices Joshua and Alfie, promptly informing the authorities of their presence, given that they are wanted throughout the city. Afterward, Joshua arrives at the factory of his old friend Drew, where simulants are being manufactured. He introduces Alfie to Drew and reveals that this girl is the weapon Alpha O, whom the US military is searching for. Drew checks Alfie's system and is astonished, saying that he has never seen such an advanced robot before. He goes on to say that as Alfie grows, she will keep learning more things and her powers will continue to increase. There will come a time when Alfie can remotely control all electronics worldwide, making it impossible to stop her. Following this, Drew asks his AI girlfriend Kami to take Alfie upstairs. Joshua reminisces about the time when they were good friends, and Drew gave him a ring to propose to Maya. The ring also had a tracker on it, and Joshua asks Drew if he can still track it. In case Maya still has it, they can use it to locate her. Upstairs, a delivery boy brings pizza to Kami's apartment, but there was a bomb in the box, resulting in Kami's death in the explosion. Turns out it were the cops who tracked Joshua and Alfie down. They offer Alfie protection from the Americans, but Joshua arrives just in time with a gun, taking out all the AI cops. However, Drew is deeply saddened by the death of his girlfriend. Following that, Joshua and Drew trace Maya's ring to their former residence. The area, now reduced to wasteland, holds the painful remnants of their past. Joshua finds the ring lying on the ground, which makes his heart ache. In devastation, he shouts and questions Alfie about Maya's whereabouts, only to find Alfie also in tears. Joshua hugs Alfie, and just at that moment Asian police attack the location. Amidst the chaos, Drew is shot, and as he counts his last breaths, he confides a secret to Joshua. He reveals that the day Nomad attack was orchestrated by US intelligence, who had concluded that Maya was the true Nirmata. They had kept this information from Joshua, knowing his deep love for her and anticipating his unwillingness to sacrifice Maya. With this revelation, Drew leaves the world. Joshua attempts to escape with Alfie but gets captured by the Asian police. The story then goes into a flashback where Maya reveals to Joshua that her father was an AI expert who taught her many things about AI. However, when the war broke out between the West and Asia, her father had to flee, leaving Maya in the care of simulants. As the simulants couldn't have children of their own, they raised Maya like their own child, providing her with as much love as any human could ever provide. In the present, Joshua finds himself in jail. Simulant Haroon questions him about his intentions with the kid. Joshua explains that he was merely trying to reach Maya through the kid. Haroon reveals that following Maya's father's death, she became the new Nirmata. In an effort to end the war, she created a child with the power to disable all weapons. Her dream was to bring about peace in the conflict between humans and AI. Additionally, he discloses that the nuclear tragedy in Los Angeles 15 years ago was not caused by AI but resulted from a human coding error. Despite this, the government blamed AI and initiated a war against them. Haroon assures Joshua that even if AI wins the war against the West, there will be no threat to humanity, as they only want to live in peace. Suddenly, Nomad launches another attack on the village, and Haroon sadly observes it through the binoculars. In a desperate situation, Joshua turns to Alfie, seeking help to escape. Despite Haroon's prohibition, Alfie helps Joshua due to their bond grown stronger, and Alfie can now even speak a little bit of English. Meanwhile, Nomad's sudden attack results in numerous innocent casualties. During the night while Harun was asleep, Joshua discreetly powers him down and begins to leave with Alfie. However, the other simulants receive the alert and sound the emergency siren. The guards swiftly turn Harun back on and everyone steps outside, only to discover that Nomad has resumed its assault, deploying advanced tanks on the ground and crushing houses in its path. The simulants retaliate by affixing bombs to the tanks and successfully destroying them. Nomad locks missile targets on several simulant cops from above. As one simulant tries to seek shelter in a house, he hesitates upon realizing there are humans inside. Fearing that a missile attack meant for him could harm the humans, he selflessly sacrifices himself by staying outside during the attack. Following this, the US Army deploys suicide robots into the village, triggering explosions that claim the lives of numerous simulants and residents. However, when the next suicide robot is sent, Alfie stands in front of it, taking control, and the robot bows down to her in respect. Just then a US soldier shoots her from behind, causing her to fall. Joshua arrives just in time and eliminates the US soldier. Harun and the other simulants are surprised by Joshua's action as they thought Joshua was on the side of West. However, the suicide bomber comes to its senses again, prompting Joshua and Alfie to swiftly depart the scene before it detonates. The villagers evacuate through boats, leaving the village behind. Harun discloses to Joshua that Maya had finished creating Alfie 2 weeks before the Nomad attack. He adds that Alfie is nothing but a replica of Joshua's own child. While Maya could have programmed her to hate mankind, instead, she put her love for Joshua into the child. Joshua become emotional upon listening all this. Upon reaching a spiritual island, simulant monks take away Alfie for treatment. Later, as Joshua wanders the island, he reminisces about his good old days with Maya. While exploring, he come across a monastery and asks a passing monk about the location of Diandang. The monk calmly tells him that Diandang means heaven, leaving Joshua stunned. Inside the monastery, Joshua discovers Maya in a coma, suspended between life and death. The monk explains that Maya lost her child on the day of the attack, and ever since she has remained in this state. The monk requests Joshua to help her in breaking free from this condition by granting her release and enabling her journey to Diandang, as simulants are not allowed to harm Nirmata. As Joshua proceeds, Alfie too urges him to help their mother reach Diandang. Overwhelmed with sorrow, Joshua tearfully turns off the machine, liberating Maya from the coma. Suddenly the US Army launches another attack on the village and Colonel Howell infiltrates the monastery, thanking Joshua for his cooperation. She reveals that they intentionally brought Joshua into this mission because they knew that he would somehow reach Maya, and they just needed to follow him. Joshua informs her that Maya is already dead. However, Howell proceeds to copy Maya's memory onto a chip so that they can exploit her intelligence for the benefit of the US government. She offers Joshua a deal: if he hands over Alfie to them, they will ensure his safe return home as a hero who defeated the Nirmata, and also assisted deactivating the Alpha O weapon. At that moment, Harun arrives just in time and launches a time bomb at Howell, leading to her demise. Joshua slides away the memory chip of Maya and attempts to escape with Alfie, but the US Army intercepts them. Alfie is forcibly taken from Joshua, who is then injected with sedatives. The following day, General Andrews escorts Joshua to Alfie and explains that they tried to terminate the weapon cleanly, but she is not letting them do that. He orders Joshua to eliminate Alfie, emphasizing that she trusts him and warning that other more painful methods are available if he refuses. Joshua, with tears in his eyes, approaches Alfie with a radioactive gun to fulfill the command. Alfie asks if she is going to heaven, and Joshua whispers something into her ear, just before she succumbs to the effects of the radioactive gun. Officers attempt to listen to Joshua's words, but radiation interference renders their effort futile. Following that, the experts confirm that Alfie has been neutralized. Joshua then inquires from General Andrews about the fate of Alfie. Andrews reveals that typically they would take something like Alfie to the Nomad for research, but in this case, they plan to incinerate her at the Ground Zero facility. Joshua requests to be present at the site, and Andrews agrees to his request. As news of the Nirmata's death spreads worldwide, it triggers anti-Nomad protests across the US. As Alfie is being transported to the Ground Zero facility in a car, an Army general receives a call from the lab, informing him that they have decoded what Joshua said to Alfie during her termination. He said, "Not off, standby." This revelation implies that Alfie is not dead but on standby. Army general urgently orders driver to stop the car, but Alfie, using her powers, takes control over the vehicle and crashes it. Joshua seizes the opportunity to escape with Alfie. Following this, Joshua books a direct lunar flight with Alfie, as lunar travel has become a common thing in the future. At the airport, Alfie effortlessly manipulates all the security checks, allowing Joshua and herself to board the flight without any issues. Meanwhile, after learning that Alfie and Joshua are attempting to escape to the moon, Colonel Andrews orders all flights to be grounded immediately. However, before the pilots can comply, Alfie takes control of the spacecraft and lands it directly on the Nomad. Military personnel stand guard at the door, awaiting the passengers to disembark and enter the plane. However, once inside, Joshua opens the plane's door. The sudden change in pressure causes all the personnel to be sucked into space. In a fit of anger, Colonel Andrews orders a missile attack on all AI bases across the world, even if it means risking human casualties. Just at that moment, Alfie shuts down the entire Nomad system, causing a complete blackout. Seizing the opportunity, Joshua attaches a time bomb to a missile on Nomad, intending to create a domino effect of detonating missile on the Nomad. After the job done, Alfie turns back the power on and starts escaping. In the process, she comes across a room where she discovers several simulants with faces resembling Maya's, zipped in plastic bags. She takes out one of the simulant and inserts Maya's memories chip in it, which Joshua took from the monastery. Despite multiple attempts, Alfie fails to power on the simulant and decides to flee. As the time bomb on a missile explodes, it triggers a domino effect, causing all the missiles to explode one after another. Nomad faces destruction. Joshua shares some final moments with Alfie before ejecting her towards Earth in a safety capsule to ensure her survival. He himself stays on Nomad, counting his last minutes. Out of nowhere, Maya appears in front of him, and they run towards each other, embracing tightly. It turns out to be the simulant Maya into whom Alfie implanted the real Maya's memory chip. In their final moments, Joshua and Maya share a kiss, and with a massive explosion, Nomad comes to an end. The cheers of AI simulants and robots fill the air, celebrating the end of the war. Alfie wears a smile on her face, witnessing her mother's dream finally coming true. And with this scene, the movie comes to an end. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.